We're going to go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. Thank you, Eagle Mortgage, for making the news segment possible. They've been with us for a long, long time, and we've gotten to know Eagle Mortgage so well. We've referred countless people to Eagle Mortgage who needed to get a home loan, and all of those people have said, Jeff, Trenton, thank you so much for sending us over to Eagle Mortgage. Holly Schneidewin runs the place. She's got a great team with her, and they'll do all types of housing loans. And remember, we're, now at the beginning of March. I mean, it's March 2nd. People are thinking this is the crazy time for buying houses. People are thinking about moving when you get to March. One of the first things you want to do is go meet with Eagle Mortgage, talk about your situation, get yourself a pre-approval letter so you're all prepared. If you find that perfect house, you're in good shape. And sometimes still, even though the housing market is not as crazy as it was a couple years ago, we are still seeing people having to compete in many cases for certain kinds of houses if it's a really desirable place or in a certain price point. So talk to Eagle Mortgage. They'll take care of you. And remember, they're not a bank. They shop the banks. They represent you and help you find the best lending option possible.
So unless you're paying cash for a house, contact Eagle Mortgage.
Trenton, if they're paying cash for the house, everything I just said is pretty much non-applicable.
I know, but I just talked to about 99% of the eligible house owners.
Okay, with that, we'll get right into our news of the week. The first thing we have for you, work is now underway to convert the former Omaha Housing Authority office building at 27th and St. Mary's Avenue into a new campus for youth emergency services. A lot of people know youth emergency services by the acronym YES. And YES basically works with Omaha's homeless youth population. Really good services, a great organization from everything that I've found out. They're going to renovate that old OHA building, but the northern portion of it is gone. The crews have demolished it, and in its place will be constructed a 4-story residential unit that will be part of YES's services. So a nice project there on the west side of downtown.
Yeah, my friend Erica Schwarting does a great job with YES, Youth Emergency Services, and every year they have a nice gala, and I got a table, and very happy for everything they're doing there.
The Exarban Curling Association plans to build a $7 million curling facility at Tranquility Park near 120th and West Maple Road. The project would be in addition to the massive overhaul of Tranquility Park that has already been approved and talked about here on the show on numerous occasions. The Curling Association still is raising money for this. I don't expect groundbreaking to be anytime terribly soon, but Trenton, you should take up curling.
Well, a curling facility, I assume it's indoors since it's ice and they want to go year-round.
Yes.
$7 million sounds like a nice facility. And other than Council President Pete Festerson and his family, I don't know anybody that's into curling in Omaha.
I do remember seeing a little bit of one of the sessions, matches, whatever you call them, back when the U.S. Olympic curling trials were going on in Omaha. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was riveting.
The Federal Railroad Administration is proposing several new Amtrak passenger railroad routes, including one that would give Omaha north-south railroad passenger service. Right now, Omaha has service along a line called the California Zephyr, which connects Chicago and San Francisco. If this new north-south route were to happen, it would start in Minneapolis, go southwest to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Omaha, Kansas City, eventually working its way over to Albuquerque and Phoenix. So that'd be kind of cool. Very early in the process, no guarantee that this would actually happen. The long-awaited construction begins Monday on the 192nd and West Dodge Expressway Interchange Renovation. And this is going to be dramatic, Trenton. It's going to go from what is considered kind of a low-volume rural interchange right now to a diverging diamond interchange. Wow. These are the kind, some of you maybe have experienced these. If you're in the state of Missouri, Missouri has tons of these things. But when you're coming to the road either under or over the freeway part, You'll end up going, if you normally drive on the right side of the road for a little while, you go over to the left, then you come back to the right, and it's designed to make it easier to merge onto freeways. It's weird if you're not used to them, but they actually move traffic more efficiently than traditional roads under or over freeways. So that starts Monday. Going to take about a year to complete that project.
Is that opposed to like a Clover Leaf or half a Clover Leaf?
Yeah, Clover Leaf is the ones where you have everything if you have a full Clover Leaf, that every way you want to go is a loop-de-loop. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only true Clover Leaf in Omaha is L Street and I-80, I believe. But
we'll go with that.
There used to be.
We won't take that call.
There used to be a Clover Leaf, I think a full Clover Leaf at I-680 in Dodge, but when the Department of Transportation made that kind of big circle over there, they got rid of some of that. By the way, Nebraska Department of Transportation does a good job, but they missed the boat on that I-80, 680 interchange. That thing should have been the high-speed direct ramp style like you have at 680, 80 and I-480, 80. That thing backs up like crazy. That was a mistake.
If you can't tell, Jeff is kind of a connoisseur, if not an expert, in highway transportation.
Well, Trenton, I'll take that. Now let's talk about the big story. The big story this week is the Crossroads Mall. I know we get a lot of Grow Omaha listeners and readers that email us, what's happening at Crossroads? Why isn't that moving faster? We don't entirely know, other than the fact that it's a tremendously large project. There's been one of the partners passed away not that long ago, but we do have some changes. And there is going to be some proposals about the Crossroads that will go before the City of Omaha Planning Board this Wednesday. First of all, the overall value of the project is now estimated to be up to almost $862 million. The developers are proposing to increase the tax increment financing from about $80 million to about $105 million. The ownership group has changed somewhat. Woodbury Corporation out of Salt Lake City has joined the group. Woodbury, very respected commercial real estate developer with about nearly $5 billion of assets under management. Another big change, a lot less office space and about double the number of residential units as originally proposed. And perhaps the biggest change that people would notice, instead of preserving and using the existing massive Crossroads parking garage, that would go gone, demolished, and parking would be interspersed throughout the project, including a couple levels of parking garage space underground.
Wow. It's in good hands. Lockwood and Woodbury would do a great job there, and Century Development is still involved.
And a couple other projects going before the planning board this week. 1508 Marcy Street, if you're wondering, where is that? Well, it's just a little bit south of Leavenworth at 15th Street. It was an old kind of underwhelming industrial lot with some small buildings. Those have been demolished. We talked about the project last year, but there's been a couple little changes with it. Looks like it's going to go ahead and get started, assuming it makes it through planning board. But it's a 4-story building on top of indoor parking, 83 market rate apartments. Seeking almost $2.5 million in tax increment financing. It's nearly $19 million project. Construction could begin by the end of this spring, and completion is estimated to be July of next year. And then finally, Open Door Mission, which has a complex at about 23rd and Locust Street, south of Epley Airport, if you will. They are planning a multi-phase, huge expansion and renovation project. I'm not entirely sure over how many years this would take place, but we're talking about new 5-story building, new 3-story building, a couple smaller buildings, renovating space, and that plan is going before the planning board at least to get some zoning changes to make it possible. So Trenton, everywhere you drive in our town, we see growth and development, and it's pretty exciting, and there are no indications that that's going to slow down.
Yeah, it's exciting, but you're seeing new districts getting built. Heartwood Preserve. You're seeing proposed new districts, 192nd, Avenue 1 and that kind of stuff, which has already started, but they're talking about doing it a lot bigger, and it just keeps on going.
And that's your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.